Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk about the 8th Annual Project Management PM Paper Competition. This year, 2018, will be the 8th annual running of this event, and we're very excited to share with you some of the details and dates about this competition. This competition started 8 years ago. Keith Farndale, who was a professor of the Masters of Engineering program at University of Toronto, started this competition wherein his students would write papers on lessons learned from real-world projects. They were studying project management as part of their master's program, and Keith was teaching the course, and he asked students to prepare a paper in groups, individuals or groups, on lessons learned from these real-world projects. And it became a bit of a competition because they would actually be Keith Farndale's class up against classes from Queen's or Western, and there was some healthy competition back and forth between the schools to see who would win the competition. In 2011, we had winners who focused on the BP oil spill project. In 2012, it was the Montreal Olympic Stadium project, and this year the competition was held in coordination with AACE, the American Association for Cost Engineering. 2013-14, we continued on. In fact, 2014, the winning project was the Wendelstein 7X nuclear reactor project, which was quite a fascinating story. In 2015, we expanded the competition to include both an academic category and a professional category. The academic category is the traditional category where we are looking at university or college level students of project management. They had to have taken a project management focused course within the past 2 years and still be enrolled as a student to compete in this competition. The prize money is tuition that's given back, tuition cash that they can use towards books or tuition or what have you. In the professional category, this is for people who've been out of school for 2 years or more and who are using project management practices actively in the workplace. And in 2015, the winning students were from Trent University, focusing on the Berlin-Brandenburg Airport project. And in the professional category, we had a partnership between a professor from Trent University and someone from Siemens Canada who wrote about lessons learned, techniques for developing highly efficient project management in an ever-changing business environment. So they talked about how these project management techniques can be used to, and adapted to a dynamic situation where there were lessons provided by students and adapted by business. 2016, the winners focused on the Calgary Peace Bridge, and they were from Queen's University. And 2017, the competition was suspended due to low participation. We did not have enough applications to justify running the event. So this is 2018. We're excited to be running it yet again. We're looking forward to a healthy competition this year, and we're encouraging people to apply. So that's the nature of this this call, is to explain the rules. So the process for submitting a paper. We're looking for an original paper, cover page plus maximum 14 pages. You can have some appendices if you need to provide data or tables, charts, diagrams, things like that can extend past the 14 pages if they're in appendices. And the point of the paper is to analyze a real-world project and extract lessons learned that can be applied to today's or future projects. It's helpful if you analyze the project using the lens of the 10 knowledge areas of the PMBOK guide. That may be a helpful way of organizing your paper. And we're looking for anywhere from, let's say 6 to 8, maybe 6 to 10 lessons learned is the number that we'd be looking for in that range. You can apply individually, or you can join a team of up to 4 people participating on this paper. The papers will be submitted to an email address I'll show you later. It's submission at pmpapercompetition.com, but I'll have that up on the screen in just a few slides. You submit the paper along with a brief application form that tells us your team names and who's, what school you're representing, etc. There is no submission fee. This is free for students to participate in. The papers will be judged by a panel of judges that will remain anonymous at this level. In this early stage, they'll be selected specifically to avoid any connections to the schools or individuals participating. the judges will shortlist a set of finalists. By reading the papers, they're going to be scored. We have a scoring sheet with specific criteria. And certainly professionalism of the presentation, the paper counts. So neatness, spell checking, things like that, grammar count towards your mark. But we're also looking for the substantiveness of the paper, and did you get it? Do you provide appropriate lessons learned based on the story? And do you provide supporting evidence for those lessons learned, taken specifically from the case study or project that you're looking at? So we're looking for, it's a paper that should provide the lessons learned and justifying facts to support that lessons learned. And as I said, 6 to 8, 6 to 10 would be an acceptable range for the numbers of lessons learned. And then what we're going to be doing is also looking at that paper to make sure that what you're giving us are project management lessons learned, not technical or engineering lessons learned. So this isn't challenges about the engineering of a particular project, it's a challenge about the management of that project. So those are key factors the judges will be looking for. Your papers will be scored. We're going to shortlist a set of finalists. Not everybody will be a finalist, right? We're going to take the top 3 this year to come to the second round of judging. So the first round is based on purely on your paper and the submission. We'll select the top 3 papers and 1 runner-up in case one of the top 3 bows out or can't make the event. And the details on this process and everything is at pmpapercompetition.com. So that's step 1. Step 2, the shortlisted or finalist teams will be brought into a physical event, face-to-face event in the Toronto area, where they will be asked to present a 15-minute PowerPoint presentation. A 15-minute PowerPoint presentation summarizing some of the key elements of their paper. All team members that are present will be expected to participate in the presentation. And then there will be a 10-minute Q&A session afterwards wherein a panel of judges and members of the audience will ask questions about the research, about the paper, and about the findings of the team. The team is going to be judged not only on the quality of their presentation, but also how effectively they're able to answer the questions from the audience and judges. Do they really know their material? Does everybody on the team have good familiarity with the story, etc.? We're going to judge the academic and professional categories separately, so the students don't have to go up against seasoned project managers out in the industry. They'll be judged in separate categories. There will be a scoring sheet with specific criteria, and I have some information on that coming up. And this is usually quite an entertaining part of the event. It used to be held as a separate event all on its own, but the last couple of years we've been combining it with International Project Management Day, which is the first Thursday in November. So for 2018, that'll be November 1st, 2018, in Toronto, possibly at the University of Toronto, but we may hold it elsewhere. We're going to have this event where there will be the finalists and they'll be presenting before an audience and a panel of judges. The judges are selected from a combination of industry and academia. They're all practicing project managers as well. So we've had, for example, the head of the PMO for Toyota. We've had PMO leads from various banks. We've had people who are large-scale program managers for huge programs for some government and construction projects. We've had also professors of project management from schools that weren't shortlisted that could participate as judges as well. The judging criteria, we're going to be getting significant marks on the effectiveness of how well they answered the questions. Right? Did they understand it? Were they able to think on their feet? Were they able to summarize effectively? Clarity of the presentation is also significantly marked. There'll be marks given for the factual support. Did you have data, charts, graphs, data, diagrams, etc., supporting your lessons learned, and the quality of your AV materials. So make sure your PowerPoint presentations are, look nice, use consistent fonts, there's no spelling mistakes, things like that, because you'll lose marks for that. So the professionalism of the presentation itself. And then there's 30% of the judging mark is reserved for overall impact, the impact people had on the audience and on the judges. So this is where personality shines through, your level of confidence, your ability to deal with difficult questions in an effective way, use of humor, things like that would be included in that overall impact assessment. So the judges will score each team, each of the judges. We average the scores between the 3 judges for each team, and then we rank the 3 teams and choose the winner. In 2018 and this year, all finalists, everybody coming to present, will receive a bunch of project management books for every participant. Every participant will get a PM Paper Competition finalist t-shirt. They'll get certificates, and every team of the 3 teams gets $500 cash just for being a finalist. Now the winners get on top of that an extra $1,500 in cash to split amongst the team. And second place gets $500 in cash and 4 $25 chapters gift cards. So an extra $100 worth of gift cards to split amongst the team. Obviously, a smaller team, each individual ends up with more cash. So we've had winning teams with 2 people on them. We've had winning teams with 4. It all depends up to you how you want to staff this to make a winning proposition. The professional category gets less money because it's more about the bragging rights and how it looks on their resume. First place gets $500 cash. Second place runner-up gets $250 cash. So just for attending, every team gets $500, and you've got a good chance of being first or second place if we're only allowing 3 teams, so you could get significantly more. The deadlines, the papers must be submitted this year by July 1st, 2018. So that gives people time to draft a paper and start gathering their lessons learned and preparing it. There's no minimum length for the papers, but the maximum length is 14 pages plus a cover page, plus any appendices, tables, data, photos that they want to include in the paper. You're welcome to include those tables and photos within the body of the paper, but keep the body within 14 pages. We don't want to swamp our judges. So papers must be submitted by July 1st. And then the shortlisted, they'll be judged over the summer. The shortlisted or finalists will be notified early in September, and they'll be invited to come and present at International PM Day, which is Thursday, November 1st in the Toronto area. More details of all of this are at pmpapercompetition.com. We have sponsors every year. This year, we are being sponsored so far by the Project Management Association of Canada. We are being sponsored by Procept Associates Limited, who helped form this competition. As a new entry this year, we have sponsorship from Title Shift, a company specializing in project management, change management, and leadership development. We're also expecting sponsorships from some of the local PMI chapters who've sponsored us in the past. In the past, we've been sponsored by the Ontario Society for Professional Engineers and others. So we're looking for additional sponsorships for this event. If you have questions on submission process, or if you'd like to submit an entry, send any email inquiries to submission, that's singular, submission at pmpapercompetition.com. The website will be updated shortly with the 2018 dates, and we wish you all the best of luck. At this point, I'll take any questions. Are there any questions? You can type your questions into the chat window. No questions at this time. Okay, well, just to keep this short, thank you very much, everybody, for your time. And again, you can email any inquiries to submission at pmpapercompetition.com. Just send your questions there and they'll be responded to. Thank you very much. Have a good day.